Hi, everyone. This is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamelin, Psychic Medium. Welcome to a timeless love reading. This is for all signs and any sign that you may be thinking of. Please use this reading to manifest a love that you are worthy and deserving of, or to confirm a love that's come into your life. Spirit, please guide me with any loving messages. What is it that you want us to know? What is it that you need us to hear? I am listening for you now. I have inheritance. Learn from the past, inherit wisdom for the future. Boy, we all learn those lessons, right? We're all tired of learning lessons, but the lessons we do take with us, we don't make the same mistake twice. We try not to anyways. So sometimes we have to accept the good and the bad and know that, it's all gaining knowledge for yourself and you become the person you are based on it. So just remember that. I have a compromise. Learn the art of compromise in a relationship. Meeting them halfway. That sometimes is hard, especially if you've got one person who it's like my way or the highway. So you definitely want to be with somebody who is more fair, more equal, more balanced, all of those things. Spirit, please share with me. I have devotion, devote and love, a gift of the soul. Okay, it is a gift. Somebody is devoted to you. I always love that word. I always love this feeling of you're first, okay, and you're number one, all of those feelings. So right now I feel like somebody is going to be devoted to you. I have symbiosis, depending on each other, growing together in a unique rhythm of unity. That as we grow, that's interesting. It's the feeling of the coral, like this living organism, that we become one. That how we started as two individuals, we're different people, and then as we became one, we became this kind of new entity. Both grew together. That's really nice. Spirit, please share with me. I have a 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands. I have strength. And I have the Moon. It came into me as overcoming our differences. So you could be very different from each other as opposed to we're very similar, or you could probably have a lot in common either way, but we have a lot of differences. And maybe in the beginning, those differences were really blazing and we could see them. I feel like we got through it. Maybe it wasn't easy, a little bit of a challenge going on here for me. Maybe even thinking, are we going to make it? It was an acceptance stage, Spirit saying it's a stage where we got to know each other, and there were some things that we liked and that we didn't like, that we tolerated and we didn't tolerate. This is how I expect you to behave, or I don't expect you, to do things for me. So there's a sense of getting to know you, and there's a little bit of it's really, really fun and exciting, but at the same time, there was this challenge of something in between us that maybe we just kept going round and round with. But I'm going to say with that compromise, we found a way to accept each other. That I think is the best way to say it. This sense of, I accept you for who you are. I'm not going to change you. I'm not going to ask you to change. So this is more of a, we're both very independent energy to me. And we are both a little bit, I might say stubborn, or set in our ways would be another way for me to say it. And I think that happens as we get older. I have a Knight of Pentacles. I have a Sun. We're moving forward no matter what. It is a new person. Look at this beautiful energy of the Sun, the Lovers. I just feel like we're moving forward. This Knight of Pentacles is, we've decided, even though we've recognized that we aren't perfect, there's imperfection here on either side, there's stubbornness. we both have decided that we're going to move forward with this. And we both feel that it's still an amazing connection. Maybe we say, okay, it's not the fairy tale that I thought. Maybe we are challenging each other. There's a sense of, you can't just say anything to me because I'm going to push back. You can't just treat me a certain way or talk to me a certain way because I'm going to push back. Boundaries being important, respect being important, trust being important. But this feels a moving on, definitely a moving forward, definitely a sense of, I really want to see where this goes. So somebody who's coming into your life that you're challenging them, okay? You are definitely pushing all their buttons. They probably are somebody who's used to somebody that's less intimidating than you, and they could probably have gotten away with more. I want to grab some initials. Let's see if the initials connect to anybody today. Don't worry if you're not in a relationship. It could be somebody coming. And if you don't see your person's initials, then they're just clues, okay? They're just clues. Let's see what we have today. The letter C. I have a T, W, Z, an I, an L, J, another T, an R, an S, another S, another I have a P. Let's get two more letters. Let's see. I have an N and I have an M. Okay, so those are a handful of initials, first initial, last initial, that may make some sense to you. So I want to go back to this feeling of, we're definitely moving forward, and this sense of somebody that is devoted to you. Illusions. Be aware of love's illusions. See reality clearly. I'm going to go with the reality for a second, because we talk about fairy tales a lot on my channel, because I believe in love and hopeless romance. Reality is two people who have two separate lives trying to live together and trying to get to know each other. And sometimes we butt heads, and sometimes we disagree, and sometimes we aren't on the same page or don't believe in the same things. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to enjoy each other and love each other. It's just our reality of who we are and what makes us us. So right now, it's very much a feeling of accepting the good, bad, and ugly in each other, whatever that is. This is beautiful sense of acceptance. Closure. Not all connections are meant to be. Accept some closure. So if in fact, we keep butting heads, if in fact we just find that we can't be on the same page, then we'll both decide that it's not going to be. But I think that we're going to work through it with that soulmate energy card, that sun card. I feel like over time, what are challenges or obstacles or a sense of we just see things differently, we start to grow together, and we find that place in this relationship where we have more alike and more in common than we do that we don't have, that isn't in common. Okay, so we have more in common. So I think that's where it's just going to take time. Spirit saying, I have a surprise, a romantic surprise is on the horizon. Be open to them. So is this somebody that is going to want a future with you? Is this somebody who you see as the person you're going to end up with? Beautiful. I have a doorway. An opportunity is about to present itself that leads you to this new person. So let the sun shine, let the light in. I do feel like from the beginning, we're very intrigued with each other. but I do feel like you are a challenge to them. There's a sense of you definitely can hold your own with them in a almost teasing way, that you can give it right back to them as they give it to you, even if it's sarcasm. So there is a feeling of back and forth energy in a teasing way in the beginning, but I'm going to say in a very sarcastic way. This person could have a very sarcastic sense of humor, and that's okay. Spirit, please share with me. What is it that you want us to know about this connection? A surprise doorway opens. Okay, I'll take that. I have a 10 of Wands, so I have this crash and burn energy. I'm afraid it's going to crash. I'm afraid that we're going to butt heads too many times. We won't be able to get over it. I have a High Priestess. Trust your intuition. If it's just somebody who challenges you and makes you think and makes you push yourself to put yourself in somebody else's shoes or look at somebody from a different perspective. Not everything's easy, Spirit's saying, and a good relationship takes some work and understanding of that person. So they do want you to trust your intuition. I feel trapped, an 8 of Swords. Nobody wants to feel trapped. You are both very independent. Nobody's going to rule this connection, and there's nobody who's going to be in control of this connection, and nobody's going to be better than the other. So maybe that's the battle. The battle is two very strong, independent people who are used to doing their own thing and finding somehow that I have to share, share my energy, share my time, share my home, share my bed with somebody. I can't even give you an example. It's try to have, ask the question of what's the heat? What do you want to keep the heat on in the house? Like, do you like a cold house? Do you like a hot house? Because it could be like we're disagreeing on things like that. The house is too cold when I'm here. You got to turn it up. And the other one says, well, I'm not turning it up because then I sweat, So it feels like that kind of an energy, that we're just trying to find a comfort level around each other in just quote unquote the real world. I have unfair, 5 of Arrows. They're unfair fights. I will say that it's a sense of we're fighting about something that maybe we shouldn't even be fighting. We're talking about things we shouldn't even be. Maybe we never had to talk with other people, but we're both so strong-headed, strong-minded. I have a Keeper Keys, Abundance. This is my Pentacles. This is my Pentacles card. So we're both independent financially. Laws of Attraction, Magician. Okay, so the Magician has taken I see the value in you. I see how that you have to offer, and vice versa. You're both high value. You're both very determined people in your life, in your careers and your ambitions. You're both really strong, and two strong heads coming together sometimes is challenging. I have Justice. So here's this feeling of this fingerprint, and that's coming into me as one of a kind, that there's no one like you. So they could have been struggling with other people, that other people bore them, probably. Other people can't hold their attention. And that's probably what's going on here, is you're the first one that intrigues them. You're the first one that definitely challenges them. So that's attractive to them, especially if they're intelligent. And they've struggled with boredom in the past. They got bored with people very easily. They know that you're never going to bore them, put it this way, because you're constantly challenging them. That's why they're going to fall in love with you. Spirit, please share with me. I have a new love. A new chapter begins, whether it is with a new partner or in a current relationship. It's going to move forward no matter what. So if you're with somebody already, it's moving forward. They're becoming more devoted to you, and they're falling in love with you because you hold their attention and you challenge them. This is somebody you're holding their attention is the biggest thing. Unrequited feelings. There's not enough love to keep this relationship going in a healthy way. So if we feel like we're constantly battling and we just can't get over the battles, we can't find that middle ground where we are just butting heads for whatever reason, then we'll both decide. You're both smart. You're both adults. You'll decide that it's just too hard. We tried, but I'm leaning more towards over time, we have more in common than we have that we don't. I'm leaning in that direction, that we find that we have more in common, and that these so-called situations or challenges become less and less as we get the answers to what one person likes, what one person doesn't. What's the temperature of the house? Do you like the air conditioning blasting you in the car ride on the way to dinner, or don't you? Do you want the air on your face or on your feet? So it's, it's things like that. It's like everyday stuff. Be present. You will attract love by enjoying your life as it is. Wherever you are, just be all there, be all in. I think this person admires that about you also, that you don't just hold it in. If you want to say something, you say it and you don't hold back. There is a sense of no holding back there on both sides, that I have nothing to lose at this stage in my life. I'm going to say what I want. I mean, within reason. I have be honest. Heart-to-heart conversations are necessary. It is safe for you to talk about your feelings. I like that. I do feel like there's no holding back. I will say that. I do feel that that's probably what we like about each other, is that we are both brutally honest about our feelings and things going on around us. So I think that that's actually going to be a positive in this connection. So being honest, as long as it's not hurtful, like we're not saying something that is hurtful, I think it's productive, and I feel like it's going to help the connection. I'm going to put this out into the universe. I think it's a great connection. I think that you've got their attention is really what's going on here. And I think it's going to be a really, really strong two very strong individuals who have found each other. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you always for your kind words and your comments. If anyone would like to book a private reading with me, please check out my website at kathymamolinspsychicmedium.com. I do want to mention, some of you have been asking for smaller readings. I do have a mini reading on my website, which is a 1-question, 10-minute recorded card reading. And that is something that you can order through my website. And then I return that to you as a email message within 48 hours. So if that's something that you might be interested, you want something a little more personal, take a look at my website. I'll put that below in the description. We'll see you again real soon.